All right, markets closed Friday. Absolutely chaotic there towards the end with the ground invasion. I'm not going to say confirmed, but reports just flew in towards the close. So, but anyway, the markets were turning down. They've been going down for a while. So let's look at the Nasdaq first. For me, we're going to go all the way down to here prior resistance. We never retested it really, except for this period. So that's my take. I think we're going to go to around 335 on the QQQ. So Nasdaq has a bit more downside ahead of it next week. Now it depends also how chaotic, how much of an expansion of the regional war there is in Israel. But regardless actually of the war, I still think the market needs to come down. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. 335 on QQQ. And by the way, how much of a percentage move down is that? 2%. That's easy. That's one day. S&P very similar. I think we're going to go down to 404-ish there. That's also 1.5, 2% move down. So that's what I expected. And we're not really at support yet. So, you have to find support. So Dow Jones, look at that. As soon as wow, today was chaotic for the Dow Jones, just absolutely flushed that level of support that it didn't really hold the day before on Thursday. So yeah, now we're in no man's land. For me, we have to go down to sort of just under 32,000, so 31,800-ish, and all the way down to 31,500. So this range here, this little tram line, and that's a bit of a move too, especially for the Dow Jones. So 1.5, 2.5%. And the Russell, as I had been saying, honestly, for months, it will be the one that leads us lower. It will make new bear market lows before the others for sure. And here we are today. We did it. Not too much of a surprise, seeing how weak it's been for ages. It did outperform on one or two trading days with the banks mainly. Big rally in the banks, but they go. It's done. It's done. Russell, new lows, new bear market lows, down one on the bit percent. Where do we go next? Honestly, if I didn't have that trend line, I wouldn't know immediately. But yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a little gap fill. Obviously, I've just said the Nasdaq and the S&P got to go 1.5, 2.5% lower. Same with the Dow Jones. That probably means 4% or something for the Russell. But it doesn't matter. I think we're going to go back down 155-ish. Otherwise, straight down to 151, and then bounce, and then just continue low until everything has just been cleared out. Things need to really be rinsed. Now, let's look at the banks. XLF down hard, down hard. That's also based on the reports of Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan, who's going to dump his stocks. So that's a bit late for saying that. I still think we're going to go down to bear market lows. So I think we're going to 30 on the XLF, not in one go. We'll probably bounce a little bit on the way down on these horizontals, but otherwise straight to 30. And then we'll make new lows because I think the banks are going to go down. Rates are way too high. Even if they come down a little bit, the yields are way too high. They're just underwater on all their bond positions. Bonds are just smoked. So the banks are taking losses. Commercial real estate, I mean, forget it. There are loads of reasons for the banks to go down. KBE, KRE actually don't look as bad as the XLF. It's quite funny. The seniors are actually leading the way down. I did not see that coming, but I welcome it. The bigger the banks, the more evil, generally speaking. So, but what do I expect? I expect just more flushing in the regional and the smaller banks. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if just one of the hundreds of regional banks out there will just all of a sudden go bankrupt. So there's that Pac West. You've got quite a few that have still got up here. Western Alliance, they'll start flushing soon. But you know what? Maybe it's Bank of America. It could be Citi. I mean, these are huge banks, but Schwab, right? There are loads of rumors about Schwab having a massive uh, position, like a negative position. So it could be one of the big boys, Morgan Stanley. Look at this one. You met new bear market lows every day. One of the big boys could just, that's probably what the XLF is saying in a sneaky way. Just, hey, we expect something to go down. So the banks are extremely weak. The Russells just made new bear market lows. S&P, Nasdaq, Dow Jones have still got another 2% down, downward move to make until we really find a bit of support. And even there, we're bouncing and going lower until until something changes, until there's peace, or until there's not just a pause, but a reversal, QT reversal, and QE or stealth QE, like the bank bailout QE we had earlier. But unless there's a monetary, fiscal, foreign policy serious change, I think we continue lower with little bounces on the way down. So markets are very, very weak. I've been saying it for weeks, months, it's and it's playing out really live.